Hi, I'm Colin Downing, and this is the Driftwood Christian Church Stories of Faith podcast. And this is Jean Hansome. And today we are talking to her to learn more about her and their journey. Where did you grow up?
I grew up in Medora, and I went to Medora Christian Church.
What was that like?
Well, there was a lot of kids back then, and we had a lot of fun. We had a singing group and we had youth meetings, and we went to county youth rallies. We just had a lot of fun.
What did you like to do at that age?
I like to be in the band. I like to be a cheerleader. I like to play basketball and aggravate my brother.
What was your favorite memory about growing up in Medora?
I guess riding bicycles with mom and dad. We rode all over town and just hanging out with my friends all the time.
Did you have a good childhood?
Yes, I did. I was fortunate to have parents who took me to church and done things with me. Two mean brothers, as you know, and I was involved a lot because I went to the small school. So I had a very good childhood.
Were your parents Christians, and did you grow up in the church?
I grew up in the church. My mom and dad sent me when I was up until I was 4 by myself. I went with other people, and then they started going with me, and so that's all I really ever knew.
When did you become a Christian?
I was almost 10 years old, September 16th, 1968. I'm old.
Was your relationship with God a priority throughout your entire life?
I'd like to say it was on an even keel, but there's been times where it's been down and times where it's been up, times where I've had more faith than others, but mostly steady and a good relationship. But like others I've seen.
Yeah, exactly. Were you always on the right path, and did you always follow Jesus?
Well, I was. Then when I got married, I decided I didn't need to go anymore. So we didn't go for a couple years. And then when I had Bridget, we decided, well, she needed a chance to grow in church. So we got back into it.
How did that affect your faith?
Made it stronger, I think.
What's one of the worst days of your life?
One of the worst days of my life was we lost everything to a fire when Bridget was not quite 1 year old. And then the day my dad died.
How did you get through those struggles?
I wouldn't have got through it if it wasn't for God and prayer and the people around, the good Christian people around us that helped us all the time. We had a lot of people step up.
What was one of the best days in your life?
I'd have to say when I married Brian and had my kids.
How did that affect your faith?
It made me stronger because I had someone to lean on besides just myself. And I always had prayer, but to have somebody physically here that goes with you, that makes a big difference.
Have you ever been in a dangerous or scary situation?
Yeah, well, when the house burned, I was home when it started. The fire started, and it was started in the middle of the house. And I had to get Bridget out. So that was pretty scary.
Oh. What did you learn from that?
I learned that God was with me no matter what. And he got us through it. And my dad told me that there would be something good come from it. And there was. Lots of good came from it.
Have you ever experienced a miracle?
I think so. I had breast cancer 13 years ago. And then I'm cured. So I feel like that's a miracle. And then I have birthed 3 children. So I feel like that's a miracle.
How did that journey affect you in your walk with Christ?
I think it made me realize, the fire made me realize that I don't need anything, that everything I have here is temporary and it's on loan. You can't take it with you. You didn't bring it in with you. And so it taught me that the only thing I can lean on is God. You
spoke about your battle with breast cancer. How did that affect you and your relationship with Christ?
Oh, it made me stronger because when I first got it, I told the kids whether I beat it or not, I won. They didn't really want to hear that because they didn't want to lose me, but it was true. If I died, I hopefully went to heaven. If I lived, I won too.
Yeah. Have you had God? Excuse me. Have you had God draw you close to you?
Have I what?
Has God drawn you close to Him?
Yes, I feel like He is drawing me close in the fact that as I get older, I realize that my time here is limited, which none of us know
Yeah.
how much we have. So I rely on Him every day.
Okay. What's your biggest regret in life?
That I didn't practice my faith as much as I should have, and that I always wanted to go to Bible college and I didn't go.
What did you learn from that experience?
That God had a different path for me, and He intended for me to be a beautician, and hopefully I've influenced someone that way.
What's your biggest accomplishment?
I would have to say raising 3 kids.
And do you have a favorite Bible verse or character in the Bible?
I have a favorite verse. It's Isaiah 40:26 through 30. And it's a long one, and it's where does my faith come from? I can't say it all. I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. No, you're fine. How has that verse affected you throughout your life?
I use it in times of when I need strength. And it was actually the last verse I ever read to my dad before he died.
Mm-hmm. What's that mean to you?
Means a lot to me because he looked at me and said, that's a very good verse. And so I kind of carry it in my heart with me.
If you could give one piece of advice to people today, what would it be?
I would say turn your life over to God as soon as you can, because even when it's bad or things aren't going your way, you can usually get through it, or you can always get through it. But you have some faith and something to back you up and help you through those rough times.
Well, thanks a lot for your time, Gene. I really appreciated talking to you, and just want to thank you so much for your time.
Well, thank you.